Hey everyone, it's Dana. Today I want to share my experience with the iPhone 15 Pro Max after using it for the past 3 months. If you've been following my journey, in this channel we talk about creating an Apple ecosystem and tech lifestyle. I got this phone mostly to enhance my content creation, but I've just been a little busy with school, so I haven't been able to post as much. But anyhow, I've been using this phone for the past 3 months and I have some thoughts. Let's dive into the ups and downs of my iPhone 15 Pro Max journey. Let's start with the features that I didn't exactly blow my mind. Let's talk about the things that I do not love about this phone. There's one thing that stood out to me, and that's the phone's performance in low power mode. It becomes laggy, the display refresh rate drops noticeably, which is quite different from my previous iPhones. I will use this feature pretty much daily, and as soon as the battery drops under 40%, just to ensure that my phone will get me through the day. Thankfully with this phone, this is a feature that I don't have to use often since the battery life is so great. However, there's been a few situations here and there where I've had to use it and I feel like it doesn't impact my overall experience. I feel like it is a little bit of a buzzkill. Next up, let's talk about the Instagram camera. There's this weird issue going on with the Instagram stories. Whenever I take a picture for an Insta story directly on the app, the picture switches, it moves, and the resolution changes, and it's a bit frustrating considering that I got this phone to enhance my content creation. When it comes to videos, boomerangs, and regular selfies, the camera works just fine. And since this issue only happens on Instagram, I'm pretty sure this is an app thing, but it's never happened before with any of my iPhones. So if you experience this or no fix, drop a comment down below and let's help each other out, please. Last on my not so impressed list is the front camera. It feels like all the focus was on the back cameras and the front camera got left behind. There's a lot of people out there that really need and want a decent camera. Because if you're trying to create content, or if you're not a content creator but you just want to capture a nice romantic moment with your loved one, or want to take a picture in your family gatherings or friends dinner, the easiest way is taking a selfie. And honestly, even though it's not bad, I feel like the previous model's camera maybe was a little bit better. So overall, a little bit disappointing. But now I want to talk about some features that I think are really underrated. And the first one is the action button. And I have to admit that it took me some time to love it, especially because at the beginning I set it up as a shortcut since it's pretty much what every other content creator was doing. But honestly, I didn't use it as much because I don't use shortcut as much. However, since I changed it to focus, it's been a life changer. I know that you can also change the focus mode within the control center, but honestly, if I access the notification bar instead of the control center by mistake, I promise you I will spend a few minutes checking my notifications, answering messages, and ultimately just getting distracted. So I feel like there's just something to having a button that I don't even have to look at the screen. So as I said, to me it's been a life changer. Next, I want to talk about the dynamic island. I like it better than the notch, and I feel like at first I didn't appreciate this feature as much as I should have, but now I don't think I could go back to the old notch. I do use it every day, and there's things that I absolutely love when I'm listening to music. I can see whether I'm sharing that music on my HomePod mini, on my headset, or just on the speakerphone. I like the face of the animations, how the island changes its size depending on the app that you're using. Just think it's pretty cool, and that they're doing some great attention to detail there. Also, recently there's been a few more apps that are taking advantage of this dynamic island, so I feel like other people and developers are starting to notice this feature more, and that makes me real happy. Now let's talk about the features that I absolutely love. I don't want to get too much into these things since they're already pretty basic and everyone is talking about them. But I feel like they deserve a mention in this video because they're really great. And of course, the first thing is the battery life, and to me has been an improvement. I use my phone a lot, and honestly I'm happy that this phone makes it through the day, which is usually from 7 AM to 10:30 PM or 11 PM. The display is also better, brighter, with more real estate, and I like that because I watch so much content. I feel like this really enhances my overall user experience. This is an obvious one. The back cameras is one of the best things about this phone. Personally, I had a slight adjustment period to the new lenses, but I still use it daily to create content and the results are great. I'm really happy with the image quality and the video quality with it. I really love it. But we cannot talk about this phone without talking about the built-in materials. This phone feels premium. I used it without a case for the first 2 months and it's still scratch-free. I think this phone is a real reassurance for people like me who are prone to accidental phone drops, and honestly it just feels good having a good phone in your hands. This iPhone 15 Pro Max has held up fantastically in the past months, but should you buy the iPhone 15 Pro Max? And it depends. So first, consider your budget. It's a pricey phone, but thankfully here in the United States there are some financial options, and there's also trade-in programs directly on Apple to make it more affordable. So basically, if you have an existing device, you can take it to the Apple store to get like a store discount. Second, think about your current phone. If you already have the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the difference might not be significant enough to justify the upgrade. And third, be honest with yourself. Do you really want this phone, or are you just caught up in the hype? If you got the budget and the desire, just go for it because you will not be disappointed. Personally, despite some downsides, I do not regret this purchase. The positive aspects outweighed the not so great ones, but I just love to hear your experience with the iPhone 15 Pro Max in the comments down below. Do you own an iPhone 15 Pro Max? And have you faced any of the challenges I mentioned? But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your experiences. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.